Before we get into what's next, let's pull back and reflect on the shocking events of last episode. Believe me, it was nothing short of fire. The tension escalated to a boiling point when Ivy discovered her son, PX, sobbing in his room after she had chased away Mr. PX, had been holding on to hope that his parents would reunite. But Ivy made it as clear as daylight that their marriage was over forever. She reminded him of the humiliation and pain she had endured when Mr. K left her for Mita, and she was not going to let that happen again. No matter how much PX begged, Ivy refused to budge, willing to move on from her ex-husband. But just as Ivy thought she had one issue under wraps, she got a surprise phone call that put her into a panic. Her son, Paco, whom she had sent to Johannesburg, was missing. This information shocked Ivy to her very foundation because she knew that once Paco came back, disaster would strike. The reason why she had sent him out in the first place was so that he could not reveal the truth regarding Smacky's death at the Mutla construction site. If Paco reappeared now, it would reopen old wounds, and Ivy knew that if the truth came out, she and many others could end up behind bars. At first, many viewers suspected that Ivy had done something nefarious to silence Paco, perhaps even murdering him. But a telephone call from the Johannesburg pastor revealed that Paco had indeed vanished, so he may well be returning to T. The realization sent shivers down Ivy's spine. PX, having suspected his mother of being secretive for a while now, happened to overhear the phone call and understood Ivy had been lying to him from the very beginning. He had questioned her regarding Paco time and again, only to be fobbed off. PX now wanted explanations, and for the first time, Ivy couldn't help but tell the truth. She required his assistance to locate Paco prior to anyone else, including the police. The authorities might inform against him if they caught him first, and the entire situation would be disastrous. In the meantime, Ivy had already guaranteed her colleague that she would have a celebratory party at her residence to mark a fellow worker who had just received a PhD, and the guest list was already established. But with Paco potentially returning, the last thing Ivy did not want was for him to arrive at her home with a crowd of guests. Panicked, she lied hastily to her co-worker, telling her that a sewage pipe had burst and that it was impossible to hold the event. Her co-worker had already given out the address though, so Ivy needed to think fast. She dashed to Capsis to inquire if he could hold the party at his restaurant instead. But Capsis, being the entrepreneur that he is, wasn't pleased with the last-minute imposition. Nevertheless, Ivy was eager to keep all of them away from her residence until she knew how to handle the Paco affair. Meanwhile, PX took matters into his own hands. Determined to find Paco before anyone else, PX went to the taxi rank, hoping to spot him arriving from Johannesburg. But instead of finding Paco, PX made an even more shocking discovery. Felix K, Smacky's father, had returned to T. The moment PX saw him, he knew trouble was brewing. K had never ceased to try to find out the truth regarding his son's tragic death, and now it appeared that he was again returning to dig deeper. When PX hurried to inform his mother what he witnessed, Ivy attempted to play down the matter, implying that K could have returned for a funeral or personal reasons. But PX wasn't buying it. He knew K had been determined to uncover the truth about what had happened to Smacky, and if he was returning to T, it was not an accident. At the same time, in another part of town, Juani was keeping a taxi driver occupied while showing him a photograph of Paco, telling him that the boy was last seen going from Alexandra Park to Park Station in Johannesburg. Kay suspected Paco was heading to T, and that is why he had come back. The taxi driver also reported seeing PX being suspicious at a taxi rank sometime before, which further strengthened K's suspicion that something was being concealed by PX. K was fed up waiting for justice to be meted out by the authorities. He had already lost his son and wasn't going to sit idle any longer. If no one was to offer him answers, he would deal with things himself. T's tension is now at its highest ever. Ivy is trying her hardest to keep her secrets hidden. PX is torn between doing what is right for his mother and having the fear of being found out. And K is back with a vengeance, ready to get to the bottom of it all no matter what.